up is Karen Sands, who is with the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewage District. Karen is not going to do a PowerPoint, so we'll give you some more laid up here, maybe. Karen went to the State University of New York at Albany, has a bachelor's in geography from there, and has a master's degree in regional planning. She is the manager of sustainability for the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewage District. Has been there for 10 years. She's also on the Environmental Advisory Commission of Whitefish Bay and is a certified planner. And so I'll turn it over to Karen.
This is my prop. This is a rain barrel, for those of you who don't know what it is, but I bet most of you do because we've sold a lot. We've sold 14,000 of these and more. It's 55-gallon drum. This one had syrup in it, but we also have pickle barrel rain barrels. These used to go into a landfill, so this is a story about keeping what was considered a waste out of a landfill and making it into something that's useful. In this case, a rain barrel. And a rain barrel is used to capture stormwater that falls on your house or your roof. It goes through the downspout into the barrel. It's captured here in the 55-gallon thing. We ask people to put them up on blocks a little bit so that you can get all the water out at the bottom. When this fills, usually we have a hose on these, and so the water comes out here and goes into your yard if it is too full. And this looks pretty big, right? It looks like it would hold a lot of water. Well, during a storm, this will fill up in about 5 or 10 minutes, which is really surprising when you first get one, because sometimes it rains not only for 5 or 10 minutes, but for hours and hours and hours. And so if you think about it, if you had these on a lot of homes, say every home on your block or in your neighborhood, or if you had more than just one at your home, but one on every downspout or off your garage, you could really collect a lot of water. Still, it wouldn't be enough to collect all of the water that fell, like last July when we had a really significant storm. And some other people here will talk to you about other catchment ways to save more water. This is probably the smallest one you'll hear about tonight. But still, it's important because there isn't any one solution to solving our stormwater problems. As Val Bergner mentioned, we have all of this hard surface where water falls and it can't soak into the ground like it used to. So it runs off the surface of the land, picks up pollutants. If you use a rain barrel, then you have less runoff picking up pollutants. You can also use the water to water your garden, so it's a great use of a free resource, the rain. You can buy barrels like this for $45. You can buy much more expensive ones online. Or a resourceful person could go to, say, a local brewing company maybe, or a food manufacturer, and potentially get these donated. Or I think we sometimes get them for as low as $2. So it's possible to make your own rain barrel. They work great as fundraisers too. There's a certain kind of paint you can use to paint them, and if you have an artist paint them, I've heard of them being raffled off for hundreds of dollars. So it's a great fundraiser, say if you wanted to get enough money to make more rain barrels and provide them throughout, say, your block or your neighborhood or your watershed. What other possibilities? Another big piece of this is all about education. We have little brochures we hand out. There are a couple of us at MMSD who go out and talk to people, but a lot of people don't know what these are or what they can do. So there's always an opportunity too, not just to provide these, to an area, but also to educate people about them so they start thinking more and more about their stormwater and what else they can do in their properties. Like you hear more about forest pavement and rain gardens and other things. So this is just one of many things you'll hear about tonight. And are you taking questions now or at the end?
You can do some now.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about how a rain barrel works or what you might do with it or just anything in general? Yeah.
What kind of paint would you use on it?
It's an acrylic paint, and I can provide to you the specifications on the, it's on our website at mmsd.com.
And we can post it on the contest website too.
Okay, good, okay. Because it will chip off if you use the wrong kind of paint, and over a number of years it also just tends to weather, so the less you move it around, the more it'll stay on. The less you have tree branches rubbing up against it, the better it'll hold. Yes.
Where does one purchase those for $45?
One would go to www.mmsd.com, and there's a whole list of places. I think Urban Ecology Center might be one of them. But like Schlitz Autobahn, Outpost Foods, yeah, there's I think there are like 12 or 15 places that you can buy these.
But you sell them cheaper than other places.
Yeah, I haven't found them for less money than we're able to sell them. So, and that's because it's a reclaimed barrel. It's not something new that's being fabricated. Yeah.
Is there any chance you can raffle it off again?
I would love to. I'm just thinking, do I have $45 to pay back my office? Not tonight, but I'm sure that we can make some available to the program once I have proper permission. I just don't have fiscal authority.
Well, they're great.
Yeah.
If you were to make your own, does it matter what's been in the barrel, or how
It
do you
does.
rinse it? Is there specifications for that?
You should buy or use what's called a food grade bin. So you wouldn't
Okay.
want something that's stored like diesel fuel or something. It would have to be something that was food grade. So like these are syrup that goes into sodas and pickles, like I mentioned. So typically something that's okay for food. And if someone can't guarantee you that it's not food grade, or that it is food grade rather, I wouldn't mess with it because you would be watering your lawn, and if it had petroleum products or something, you can put that in your lawn. Or worse, in your vegetable garden. Yeah.
I just had a question on construction. The faucet at the bottom,
Yeah.
I see there's a white bushing that's in there. So did you just insert that first and then put the faucet? Like I always made a big hole in the top so I could reach my hand all the way down and put a nut on the other side of that faucet. And it looks like that might be better. Do you know how that was put in?
I don't know. It's the Milwaukee Community Service Corps who fabricates these for us. So I would check with them.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know that. I've never watched one being assembled.
I think Keep Greater Milwaukee Beautiful also.
They also
still-
make them.
They make them.
They're
so-
comparable barrels too, and they may be similarly priced actually. That's another great source to get barrels. Sometimes the only advantage to a commercially available barrel that I've seen is there'll be a spigot a little bit higher too, so you can put like a watering can right under it without lifting it up. Makes it a little easier. But with this one, this is great for putting a soaker hose on it. So if you want to take the lazy approach to gardening like I do, you put a soaker hose on it and then put it throughout your garden. And so when you want to water your garden, you just turn that on and it gradually releases into the garden. So, yeah.
Is there a problem with insect larvae at all with mosquitoes, or does the lid pretty much take care of that?
There would be if you didn't follow the directions,
Oh,
because
okay.
there are two pathways for insects to get in. One is through here, where your rainwater is going to go in. This should be screened, and often these come with, or you can buy separately an insert, and then you put a piece of screen across the top. The other place is the overflow here. So you're going to put a hose on it. At the end of the hose, we recommend that people put a screen on that, so again, that mosquitoes don't fly up into it. Now, for some reason, if your screen comes off or you don't want to bother with it, you should empty the barrel within 7 to 9 days, because the particular kind of mosquito that breeds West Nile virus, that's how long it takes to hatch and fly out. So we do need to be careful about that. Yes.
And you actually have a hose that, when you pay the $45, there's actually a hose that comes with the top, an overflow.
I don't think
I've gotten
so.
it before in the past.
It does? Okay. I didn't think it
So,
did, but so that would
maybe
be...
that's changed, I don't know.
I'm always trying to cut costs, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I'm not sure. But if someone were going to do a rain barrel project, I would be happy to provide advice on, things I just said, essentially, making sure that we've been building these for 10 years approximately, so we've learned a lot of things over the 10 years. So to have you avoid some of the, not mistakes, but like the design challenges we had, I'm happy to help with